Okay, it's not shaking anymore. Anyways, not anyways. All right. Yeah, that's my thing, right? I say all right in that tone. Anyways, all right, you freckled philanthropists. Yeah, that's it. That's all I could come up with in the last 30 seconds. So pretty good. My creative genius is showing. So continuing the line practice, but really just the general broken draw, shill bullshit. Oh, not bullshit actually. Very very good practice, but yeah, that practice, the warm up essentially, right? Um, I like to do this at least once every day because it's basically if I'm not doing my main thing, I'll be doing this. Although ideally, I would like to draw for 2 hours, which would be this, and then another hour being the primary fundamental practice. And oh, I wanted to quickly touch upon one topic. Nothing really, I guess, insane, but me and I draws on the good old YouTubes. He is an artiste. He also is on Artwad. He in one of his community posts, he's really really fucking good. And it's actually I made a comment where I was like, bro, because I think I mentioned this, but in one of the threads, people are talking about how essentially viewing their art progress when it comes to the seeing skill and the doing skill, right? And not to compare to each other's, all that stuff. Really, really good, wholesome, encouraging sort of, uh, I guess, discussion, which may come as a surprise considering I say nothing wholesome in this channel. But I do actually have a decently kind personality when I choose to expose myself in that realm of shite. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm distracting myself by speaking. um, but he in one of his community posts, somebody asked, "Hey man, how long do you draw for?" And he's been drawing for the same time as me. Basically, what I was saying in the Artwad channel, one of the Discord channels, what I said was, yeah, like don't compare yourself to others. For example, me and D has been drawing for the exact roughly the same time as I have been. Right, we both started around the same time, but he is fucking leagues above me in terms of skill. Right, shit makes me want to key MS, right? This is how I censor myself. No, it makes me want to kill myself. But it he said in that community post, because the person when they asked how long have you been drawing, he said, I try to draw at least 2 to 3 hours every day. And he has been sticking to his everyday drawing as well, which is huge. So what does that tell me? How does that put my progress in perspective? That basically says he has technically been drawing for 2 to 3 times longer than I have, even though we've been drawing for the same amount for the time span, right? But he has been putting more hours within that time span. So of course he'd be two to three times better than me. If I've been drawing for 2 years and he's been drawing for 2 years, but 2 to 3 times longer than I have, therefore he's been drawing for 4 to 6 years technically. If we were to encapsulate it in my progress, right? If we were to, if I were basically to put in the same amount of hours that he did, but in the same sort of practice that I've been doing, right, 1 to 2 hours a day, and only 2 hours recently, but really just 1 hour 5 days a week, then that would me achieving his level of skill, considering we practice relatively the same amount of stuff and we still push ourselves in that vein. For me to reach his skill would take 4 to 5 years minimum total, right? And that really puts it in perspective. So what I'm trying to say is we don't really get the the sort of behind the scenes of artists. Again, big reason why I made this channel is when I'm fucking really good, which I will be because I'm going on that path. It's a definitive fact that I will be objectively really good, technically speaking, right? Whatever, sure, maybe my art style won't speak to some people, maybe else. There's always something to learn, always. Like I'll be 90 and I'll still be like, okay, I can't wait to learn this thing, that thing. Not all, like we can't just learn fucking the entirety of the world in representation of art. There's too much shit. There's just too much fucking shit, right? And that's the beauty of art. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, we don't get to see the behind the scenes of people, and thus we shouldn't assume that they're not putting in a lot of work. Mienda, he's putting a lot of work in, right? And again, like for those watching, if anybody really is watching, but for those of you, 5 years from now, viewers from the future, if you chance upon this video, let it be known, right? You see how much work I have been putting in. So if you are wondering, if at any point at fucking 2030, 2035, whatever, and you see me drawing some really crazy shit, right? And you're like, holy fuck, how'd this guy get here? You'll go back to video number 43 and see, right? What the title of this will be Practicing Lines Because They're Garbage Part 3, right? This video, if anybody from the future was watching this, even a few months or a year from now, you what I'm trying to say is, please be aware of the work that not only I am putting in, right? Like, it puts into context how much work is being put in and what type of work is being put in, but that other artists, even if they're drawing the same amount of, within the same time span as you, they're putting in more time uh, into that work. TLDR, pee poo poo. Anyways, okay, so what did I stop at last time? I stopped at planes and different perspectives. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna do ribbons. Ah, that's really fun. So what is ribbons? Ribbons, as Broken Draw describes it, is just you take a line here, and I guess the fuck you take a line like this, and now we're just trying to connect them in perspective, like so. And this is gonna be really good. Fucking Jesus. You see? Yeah, fucked up that line. But I guess you can't see the fuck up as much on camera. Again, I don't know why the quality's so low res, even though it's supposed to be 1080p, but yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Right, and we can take that one step further and just keep going. And I can obviously try and make this relatively aesthetic, but that's basically another exercise to help you think in 3D, right? This is literally just a curved plane, essentially. Also, I have a new thumbnail format, which came about 2 videos ago. Which one will it be? Practicing lines because they're garbage, part 2, yeah. And then after that, it's twisting boxes, part 1. But yeah, that one has like a whole new thumbnail format now because of this new setup. Basically, I just have to make the text smaller here. I'm only gonna see I'm gonna have to zoom in into the corner. So I have to make sure I do some drawing on the top right corner every time I draw. Which may be difficult because I'm going so slowly, but we'll see. Okay, it's been 7 minutes, so I need to at least get 50 minutes of drawing in. So let's go. Let's get this shit done. Just think about how this would look, because I'm trying to this will be the back end, right? This really helps you think about planes and how they're twisted as well, which is really nice. See, and let's make it a habit to also draw behind things as well. Now maybe that ribbon wasn't the best, but that's what the practice is. Yeah, of course, I'll just be doing this entire line full of ribbons. Really, really good spatial reasoning. And at the end of the day, what I'm really focusing on is, of course, visualizing and thinking of actually seeing it before I do it, right? So now this one, I'm thinking of something really fucky. So something like, and I may fuck this up completely, but I gotta try it out. See, now that didn't work. So let's do that again. Yeah, I'm trying to do like a little twist. So obviously applying kind of the twisting boxes thing I was doing. So if it's, So I think it's more like this, actually. That's not accurate either, I don't think. Actually, it is. That's this. No, that's not, because this is supposed to be going around like that, and this is. Oh yeah, okay. There you go. I think that's more accurate. And again, I'm purposely making these arbitrary, just random directions, so I can think of a creative way to, creative novel, whatever, way to draw these ribbons, right? So if this is facing this way, I could have something coming around like that. So okay, so what I was trying to do there was something like, my lines are really, I guess obviously I'm focusing on the lines, but as you can see, they're a bit shaky today, and that's okay, because that's how we learn to not be shit. Watch me become great, am I right? So the beautiful thing is, because these are planes, you can do something like this, right where they're twisted around almost. And I know like his ribbons are a bit larger, but I guess I'm drawing a bit smaller, so maybe I can focus on making them larger here onwards, right? There you go. This is a great way to visualize the planes when it comes to twisting boxes as well. But again, Broken Draw even did something very simple like this. It is interesting to refer to YouTubers by their pen name, in a sense. Jesus. Yeah, again, right? Like different angles will cause you to make different types of mistakes. And that is how you can focus. You can even have something really fucky like, oh, I know. So already I'm making this very difficult for myself, which is good. I crave difficulty. That ended up not being so bad. Okay, little spacing effect break. Oh fuck, where's my water bottle? Oh shit, did I leave it upstairs? Oh no! Oh god, I dropped the fucking cap as well. I'm gonna be right back. Just listen to the music. I'm gonna get my fucking water. Do 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 do. Hopefully nobody in my family talks. Yeah, that's just my dad watching TV. I believe he said it's called. The fuck? What was it called? Some show about. Okay, the only fucking thing I know about that show is some dude with cowboy hats, and the scene that I saw was some dude was riding a horse, and he got bucked off, and it ended with him being fucked up, apparently severely injured. So. Ice cold. Bunny. And I'm back. I mean, and I'm back. And I'm back. So, again, I try to think about composition, but really I don't know much about composition yet. So, in terms of, these things aren't going to look very pretty, per se, but it is what it is. And something like this. So, we could try, again, let's just. Wow, that ended up working out. That's a twist. Yeah, it's twisting through. Yeah, okay, so it's this line and it's twisting around. And it's this. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I wish I could explain this a bit better, but right now, even sort of conceptualizing twists has become more intuitive for me. So really what I can say is just sort of imagine the line attached to one side of the plane weaving its way around, right? I know that's probably not the best explanation, maybe it doesn't make much sense, but I personally am not too sure as to how else to explain it because I'm not a teacher, right? I can attempt to teach. Really, my attempts, fuck me. My attempts to teach will just be reflective of my attention. Oh, what the fuck? What was this, bro? 'Cause I need to stop resting my hand on this thing over here. It's gonna keep fucking it up. But my attempt to teach is more so just an attempt to teach myself in whatever way makes sense to me. If it resonates with you, resonates with you. If not, suck my dick. I mean, you're trying your best. Yeah, I guess this is what he meant by ribbons, right? And why don't we try something like this? Oh, I got a notification. I thought my phone was fucking up. So basically, what this is looping around, right? And this is looping around. And we want it to go over here. Like so. That might actually be difficult to see. And maybe it doesn't even make much sense. Oh, let's try that again. That doesn't really make much sense. So something like this, right? Where I'm trying to loop it around. So let's try a loop. If I'm trying a loop, that's where I messed up because it needs to. Okay, so this. And then which side is this? This is this side, right? So we need to make sure it's. There you go. See, that makes more sense. Even something as simple as this can be deceiving, if that makes sense. Okay, right? What the fuck did I do here? Okay, that's not right. But I think I can fix it. Just doing that. I don't even know how I'm doing this anymore. Fuck me. It's important to think and visualize, and I did actually see that in my mind, but why did I see it? How well did I see it? For what reason did I see it? All beyond me. This is a great way for me to practice smaller lines as well. Right, smaller, thinner lines. because this angle in general is pretty difficult for me, right? And then let's do so I'm thinking of something like now that didn't make too much sense, 'cause I guess, and now it does. But no, it doesn't really. This part right here, what's the issue here? Because it doesn't make any sense. It should be looping behind, not in front. Okay, let's try that again. Over here. So we had something like this, and we needed to loop behind, right? So there you go. It might be hard to understand. What I'm trying to do is like this looped behind and then went over this way. Because you gotta think about both sides of the plane. That's probably the mistake I made here, where I thought of both sides of the plane, but again, it doesn't make any sense. This thing isn't just, this line shouldn't exist. It's looping like so. Yeah, actually, this should not exist. That's what it is. Okay, should I do one more round of these ribbons? Yeah, might as well. These are a great exercise. I probably won't be doing this bottom part. What's the next? Box stacking? Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that. Again, the biggest thing is like I can't really draw this bottom part because drawing like this is fucking retarded. So, yeah, I'm no god. I'm a mere mortal on its path, on his path, on their path, on Zen path to become a demigod. So, let's do bigger ones now. Like that. So, this, what am I thinking? There you go. Nice. And then, what else? We could actually make this go back here for funsies. Maybe I won't be able to fit shit here. Drawing like this is very weird, but who knows? I'm gonna get cut off here so I can do something like that. Have this come all the way down. And around. There you go. Oh, that actually worked out pretty well. Nice. Okay. Let's see what else. What else can we do? This is a really nice exercise to understand, even just how a plane can change and interact in 3D space. Right. So I could even try something nonsensical, like just do that. Okay, I follow up with this. But now I could do something even more annoying, like that. I make it twist up. So now it's twisting. Like so. May not be perfect. Fucking, why is my sister calling me now? Bro, fuck off. I told you I was drawing. She never watches my videos. She doesn't know I'm cursing her name. But then we could even do something like that. I wasn't trying to make the line that thick, but Jesus. And then something like that. And okay, see? So now we have the back plane over here. Comes down. Right, but now I made it, so not seeing the bottom edge. So now this come down again. This back plane. Now how do we want to do this? How could we make this fucky? We could turn this into something like, this could just be a normal twist, or maybe we might as well leave it like this. There you go, see? And that's also a ribbon. The thing is, this shit literally hurt my head when I first started drawing. Just looking at it, I was trying to conceptualize it. It goes to show with enough repetitions, and as you've seen from my practice, just really thinking about spatial reasoning and the fundamentals, slowly but surely, fuck me, I made a just stain. It's okay. There you go. Now I have one on my finger as well. That's pretty good. But we can slowly start understanding, and it's sort of the skill gap lessens in the sense that the things that were difficult before become a lot more intuitive, and the things that become more intuitive, you can push them towards new difficult heights, right? So it's a recursive. Spacing effect break. Do I need to announce this every time I do it? Probably not. You can just assume every time I go silent for 10 to 15 seconds that I'm allowing the gap effect to take place. All right, wonderful. I've read some comments on YouTube and on some things here and there. I've gotten snippets on the ArtWad channels. Is people talk about how difficult the brush pen is to use, and how some people were like, oh, when they tried using this type of brush pen, that it was way out of their comfort zone, right? But as you can see, even with shitty, shaky lines, you could create something that looks relatively decent and believable, right? When I make artwork for my friends, like for their birthdays and shit, is what I used to do. I have so many birthdays over the year, maybe like 12 or 13, 16, some shit like that, family, friends, and all that stuff. So last year when I was learning, right, my second year, and like throughout my second year, I did a lot of drawings, and my lines were worse than this, right, in terms of consistency, pressure, what's it called, their straightness, or how smooth they were, confidence, all that stuff. But because I just confidently, funny enough, put them down and knew my fundamentals, even to a decent degree back then, they still really appreciated it. This is also a great exercise, as I said before, for shit. See, but it's still not good. It still has a lot of issues for understanding the twisting boxes, because you can sort of see that little S curve in motion, right? And I guess if I were to turn this into a box now, how would I turn this into a box? I'll do a tiny one, I guess. If I were to turn this into a box, now that's a good exercise. That's a good exercise. Make a twisted ribbon, and then turn it into a twisted box. Something like this. Yeah, very twisted, obviously, but this twisted box can become a bow tie, right? If you slightly adjust the contours of the form. So these type of twists, again, in the RWAT program, they mentioned you don't need to go to this extremes, but at this point, if you really have been watching me, which I doubt you have, but if you have, you'll know that I like going to extremes. I like making my life more difficult. And see, now that was horrible. Like that, there was no curves there whatsoever. Straight lines do not create good ribbons, right? This one was really bad, but I don't say bad in a mean way. I guess I shouldn't use the word horrible. That was incorrect. That was not optimal, right? But even an artist as good as I makes mistakes. Even try some nifty foreshortening here. Not the most amount of foreshortening, but it's just slightly getting bigger. At least that was what I was trying to do, right? And here you'd still see that line ended up becoming way too thick. Here it'd be very slight, like that, right? Again, line thickness, working on it, which is why this is called a line practice, because they're garbage, because all these lines are garbage. But slowly but surely, they'll become less garbage. And that is the beauty of art. I'll be honest, I was not going for this, but it ended up working out. But I was still keeping the perspective and everything in mind. So that looks pretty cool, I think. And then I guess I can just fill this entire bottom up with ribbons, right? But fuck me, I gotta hope that I can get some sort of top right corner going in. I'm gonna have to figure out some new thing with my thumbnail. Oh, this shit's so gay, bro. God damn it. Of course, I mean that in a very positive and self-affirming and inclusive way. This shit's so gay, fam. In it. I love you. That didn't make too much sense. There's a bit of a knot here that doesn't exist. Okay. I guess if anything, I can leave it like this, and then I'll just go back and practice some lines. Maybe I could do that actually. Maybe I could just practice some lines over here. But again, somehow it's already been half an hour, so can't really be too picky. Okay, I want to do something really fucky here. This may work. This may not work. It is looking like it may not work. Yeah, that did not work. Let me try that again. Yeah, see, like drawing like this is really awkward, and I don't want to draw my finger resting on this. I can't really draw from the shoulder much, and that's an intentional thing I did. Because again, if I'm gonna be a mangaka, it's gonna be very small panels, right? And well, there's definitely actually might as well try, right? Maybe let's not limit myself to So this is gonna be from the shoulder, so this is gonna be really, really wonky. I can already see my hands aren't stable. Fuck that shit. Fuck this. I don't want to do that. I choose my discomfort. Okay. And what else could we do? Yeah, fuck it. Might as well. If I'm gonna go all in on drawing for my fingers, might as well make it as difficult as possible. Again, I'm really focusing on the line practice because that's what this is, right? Line practice. So this would come out like so. And then we really want to like that. That was all right. Okay. I guess let me try. Fuck it, might as well just. I guess I'll stop here. Is where I'll stop drawing. Right here, and then I'll move on because like this is actually again just fucking retarded. So, am I murmuring? I hope I'm not murmuring. This is retarded. Nobody can understand me. Nobody can understand me. I fucking love how in my first video I said I was gonna focus on my speaking, and that went to shit within honestly the second video. Let's see what interesting sort of shape I can do with this. Okay, see, that worked because I really thought ahead there. So even though the lines are not the best, obviously, you can see that this is looping around, and now there's a little bit of a twist that we can capitalize on. Something like that. That's okay. That's not bad at all. Gonna take another break. Yum, 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 yum. It's important to take care of your health, folks. Stay hydrated. The better your health, the sharper your mind. I.e., get jacked. Muscle is the great equalizer of intelligence. Brawn equals brain. You might be surprised to know that. Don't believe me? Just look at Antonio Artwad. See, that was difficult, and honestly, it may be a bit confusing, but, and again, the lines were, especially here, it was difficult, but that's good. Because if it wasn't difficult, and I didn't have to think ahead, I wouldn't have to do it. But essentially, I'm trying to create this, right? It's kind of curving along, falling along here, it's in the back here, there's a twist right here, try to represent a twist, and then it's coming down over here. I don't even think we should have seen this line, because it would be hidden by this one over here, but that's the beauty of art. You could even do something like this, right? Where it's give the plane a little bit of a curve. Right? This is how we can make, I guess, I just thought of that, but I guess that's how we can make dynamic and interesting drapery. This is basically drapery practice, if you think about it, right? Ribbons, drapery, like we could even do something like, now that can really cause some fuckery. But if I were to just make it simple, like that. And again, I'm no authority on this as well. This is just me practicing what I know about perspective, right? But trying to twist my brain a bit. So don't take everything I say, it's highly unlike you are, but if you are taking everything I say as sort of kind of how things are when it comes to learning art, it very well may not be, and most likely isn't. But I'm just someone who's practicing. Now see, that looks pretty decent. That looks like something interesting. We could actually push this even further, I'd like to think. So if we do something like this, and then we do something like over here, I can maybe like that. Oh fuck, the lines are not that good, so it's gonna make it difficult to represent it. But I was trying to indicate a twist here. Like that, and then I guess it could come out. Like so. Probably not the best example, but again, lines need work, but this is good. It's really helping me conceptualize. I actually wish I thought about going from a straight plane to a more curved plane earlier on in this practice, but yeah, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to make a top right corner thumbnail for this. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I have to think about that actually. What the fuck am I gonna do about that? Okay, let's just focus on making the lines thinner. You'll see they're getting progressively more thick, so we gotta focus on retaining line thickness. So this could be something like that. This carries over. This carries over. This carries over. Maybe that's correct. Maybe. Seems to make sense to me. That's a really good practice, actually. Cool. And what else? Okay. I have 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, can I do some shit here? Just for the video. I might figure this, do this, and then just draw the fucking boxes in the corner, the stacked boxes. Yeah, box stacking, right? Yeah. Yeah, like I'm 100% doing that because you'll just see this, but you're like, what the fuck? Where are the boxes, bro? This guy's been drawing ribbons the entire video. It's a good old cock-a-doodle tease, as they say. Then this is good because it'll force me to think about rotating this now in perspective, which is maybe simple when you're watching the video. Even when I watch my videos, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I can literally see it, but there's the seeing and the doing, right? That's that disconnect I was talking about, when you can see how something is done and you can understand it, right? When I first started drawing perspective, it was very simple to see somebody drawing a box, right? And then drawing an ellipse in the same perspective. Maybe not the best example, but the point is, it was very easy to see that, but the actual my application at the time was like this. Right? And then drawing a cylinder would have been like that, or some shit. I guess fuck, I made that accurate. It would have been like that, right? In that, for that perspective. And I think that's where the frustration lies from, is when we can see, because we've been learning, we'll see what's the correct quote unquote way to go about it, but doing it is more difficult. So, it's too thick. Something like that. So we can actually, maybe I could, oh dude, that's gonna be so hard. Let's see if I could do that. Bring it around, right? Maybe I could do that. So how'd that look? With that. And then we can, something like this. So I'm pretty sure that's incorrect, but what I was trying to do is bring it underneath. But something here is missing. But again, I don't think that's a bad attempt at all. Some might even say it's a pretty fucking good attempt, considering I've never done this before. And even change that up. What if we twist this? What would happen there? So would that just be that, and then we does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that made sense. Why didn't it make sense? Because I still need this. Something like that, right? This plane needs to be showing. Cool. Okay, Fuck, am I gonna have enough time? Could even do something interesting like that, right? And that can be something that yeah. Okay, so this, well, connecting this is gonna be a bit fucking annoying, but it could be something like cool. Maybe? I think I fucked that up, but it's all good. And maybe, I think actually this does make sense, but my lines, again, not being the cleanest, make it look a bit off, perhaps? Perhaps. But again, I am just practicing to draw from this angle. So yeah, try using a fucking brush pen and drawing like this, bro. Shit's whack. Funny thing is, when my friends see these thumbnails and videos, I know they have no idea what the fuck any of this is. It just looks kind of abstract and shit to them. They're like, why? Why are you drawing these random shapes? Like, I guess it looks interesting, but why? My friends, oh my god, they made so much fucking. I have been. It's become a meme where anytime it's about art, there's a theme. They're like boxes and cylinders, and they just repeat that over and over, over and over. There you go. But goddamn, I saw Christ in that one, but they don't understand the merit of three-dimensionality. TBH, fam. So could do something like that, right? Which will mean that this line is may have been incorrect, but it's okay, because we can still salvage this, I'd like to think. Maybe not. Oh, fuck. maybe not. Yeah, as you can see, even if this does make sense, like line quality is very important, right? A lot of these actually kind of are decent, but because the lines variability and the thickness and the shakiness is subpar, it makes it difficult, which is good. I always want to emphasize that if it's difficult and you're really straining, that means you're really thinking, which means you're really swag. So something like that. Then we could well, I did not intend for this to be the outcome actually, because clearly I was trying to connect this with this. But maybe it worked out. Maybe. Right? Okay, well, I'm gonna take another little break, and then I'm gonna spend the last 5 minutes of this 5 to 6. I talked for like 7 fucking minutes, so maybe I'll just spend a few minutes longer doing boxes in this corner, really focusing about perspective. But this was good. This was really, really good. Holy shit! And as you can see, I progressively tried to make it more difficult for myself. Right now, this looks kind of like a clusterfuck of random lines, but if you were to see my process, I think you would understand what I was thinking, which is first, let's just try bending it, then let's try going underneath, right? Really think about drawing underneath, right? Doing different angles, and then right around, where was it? Somewhere here, yeah, this one, where I was like, wait, I can, why stick to just a line? We can start contouring this. So, and that made me realize, oh shit, drapery, right? So now we're over here. So that's not bad, but yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. And hydration. Okay, so I guess roughly it was like this, right? Because then this is where the thumbnail is going to be. This is where I'm going to have that little space. My hand's going to be around here. So yeah. But it's, it's, I guess before I continue, I just wanted to say personally, it's weird how this would have fucking broken my mind before, but I was still thinking hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're thinking hard, right? If you're thinking hard enough. I really was. I'd like to think. I'd like to believe that I was focusing, because obviously a lot of these were successes or believable, and a decent amount of them weren't, which is good, right? And my biggest, again, thing that's holding me back seems to be the lines, but that's okay, because that's the whole point of this specific series, line practice. I have series, right? Like twisting boxes, lines, all that good shit. But overall, it was good. It was actually really good. But yeah, I can't tell if I'm thinking hard enough. We all, if those of you watched, but you didn't, with the fucking practicing the sketchbooking when I was practicing that shape, I literally, yeah, I didn't get to mention this. I mentioned it in the thumbnail and I noticed afterwards, but for the last part of that, when I was trying to figure out that the filter and the shape and all that stuff, I was thinking so fucking hard and I just couldn't get it. But I think that's my weakness, is seeing this is simpler, right? In terms of it's a smaller shape, but that had many different shapes going into it. So I think when I do my perspective cluster practices, it would be a really good practice. To be honest, everything, especially hard surface, is just a lot of tiny little shapes manipulated or otherwise as a larger cluster, right? So I think the first step is to imagine a box, or the perspective and the different shapes and the connections to, let's say, about this size, right? Ideally, the goal is like something really nice and big, like again, Kim Jong-il, Antonio, right? These people who do these grand canvases where they just see it, the whole perspective, seeing the entire perspective on the entire page is difficult, but slowly but surely, which is why this helped a lot too, because I really tried to get that down as I was going there. But anyways, yeah, 59 minutes, whatever, this will be a bit longer. Next thing is box stacking. Ribbons was really good. Thank you, Broken Draw. Thank you, honestly. That's a really, really good exercise. It's also done on Drawbox, but again, with Drawbox, they make you draw so big, right, that I feel as if you're not getting the mileage in. And obviously, they want you to draw that big and get the mileage in, but personally, I like drawing a bit smaller when it comes to getting the reps in. And on top of that, at the end of the day, the way I'm seeing it is like I can draw small and work my way up, rather than drawing big is a huge leap for me. I have to mention for me, because somebody might be like, actually, for me, it's not like how it is for you. So for me, it is difficult. Okay, box stacking. This is pretty simple in theory, which is, let's just say you have a box. Fuck, sometimes the line is so dead. Let's do it like that. And now I've established my perspective. Where's the horizon line? Right around there. Fuck, my jizz, right around there. So it's pretty simple in theory, but now we have like entire perspective grid to think about. Right, that's like, let's just say the vanishing point is somewhere here. This vanishing point is somewhere here. It becomes intuitive after a while. My biggest thing is just following the relative. Okay, I made this vanishing point much smaller at this point because again, we don't have to worry about that too much. It's just about basically trying to get it down. Right now, this forces me to think about the perspective at all times. And a good tip is to think about where these lines are going. Again, look at that, like that's not perfect. It's diverging technically from where this is going. So not always going to be amazing. And another good practice is to draw outward from the box as well, like so. But now we got, and yeah, like we can have it converge downwards a little bit. But, and again, like these little mistakes I'm making where I'm making it converge a bit fast, it happens. But you have to roll with it. That's the most important thing, is you have to roll with this shit. See, I fucked this line up as well. And this is the beautiful part about this practice. Simple in essence, but difficult in application, right? It's not perfect. And that's where we do our best to visualize. Like right now, I'm really trying not to look at this, but keep it in mind, right? If I can keep it in mind, I can do a decent job. You want to get to a point where you just have that perspective sort of in your mind. And I'll be honest, seeing this, just this little space of perspective, used to be very difficult for me a year and a half ago, right? So you also have to understand, it was a year and a half ago that I was struggling with this. And just now, it's getting slightly better. So again, it's all practice. Practice, intentional practice, but practice nonetheless. That's diverging, and that's fine. You can even have a box that's going like this. See? And as you continue to stack, it continues even with that big mistake right there, right? This is not going in the perspective that it needs to. Even with these big mistakes, if it's clustered enough and enough of them are believable, it can turn into something that looks pretty distinct. At least that's the way I see it, right? That's the way I've understood this. I could be understanding it wrong, but that is just the way that I am currently understanding it. So please, leave a like, because I'm understanding something, and you're proud of me. And why don't we have some boxes up? See, this angle is very difficult. I could do something like this, right? And I have a little bit of a plan. Oh, that was also a mistake. That's a good thing. Kim Jong-il does that too. Every time he makes a mistake, he's like, oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. But again, his level of mistakes are so minuscule in comparison to our level of mistakes. And yes, I'm assuming you're not Kim Jong-il, so I will say our. Now see, this is a perspective that's actually not that difficult for me, right? So this right now I'm just doing this just to fucking fill up the time and to get the goddamn what's it called, the thumbnail. Funny enough. I may actually be doing this incorrectly because not many of these boxes are stacked on each other. Like some of them are, but some of them aren't. So that's also something to keep in mind, is the believability of something being stacked on top of something else. But maybe I can literally just do this, right? So now, technically, this is little box stacked, maybe? Maybe. But I wonder how that looks. No, my fucking the phone holder thing for this is literally blocking this section, so I can't tell. But okay, I guess that's it for now. I mean, I could technically do this. This is just like a really big box, let's say. That's there you go. Now we have somewhat boxes being stacked. And to make it even more believable, maybe I could do something like, because this doesn't seem like it's stacked on anything, so maybe, how can I make this look like it's stacked on something? Technically it's on top of this, but what is it bouncing on over here? Nothing. So why don't I just, there you go. It is technically stacked. This is technically stacked on a box over here. Technically, but probably hard to tell. But either way, I'm gonna leave it at that for now. I will obviously be continuing this tomorrow as a warm-up, right? Hopefully I can do my 2 hours tomorrow, so I'll be continuing this along this side, and then this will all be cylinders, right? Cylinder stacking, and then it'll be twisting boxes. Good old, good shite. So with that being said, as always, keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you. I need to figure out what to do with my intonation. None of this sounds unique or creative. My voice hurts my own ears, so I can only imagine what it's like for you fuckers. But yeah, give me money. Please give me money. Goodbye.